Alright, so before, you know, I bring awareness with the education, I just want to make sure that we drink some water, right? Always stay within our healthy duties. We're always going to need some clean water. The majority of your body functions off hydration, so you won't feel stagnant and reach a point of fatigueness and confusion, all right? So you know how we catch people that are full of shit, whoever's harassing the communities with low radio frequency, and all they have to say is, oh, somos migra, somos policía, somos militaria, you know? When in reality, there's been a lot of cases where now they're trying to create the illusion that they work with government officials. And then they even fake out the new employees coming in. And then we have actors that probably were in the service or active duty. They get paid, and then they start working for these recording labels, and they see the mania that they're doing, and then they form their own facilities. They get licensed. They know all of the things they have to do to have everybody off their back, to start growing their own form of agencies. And now they like push this bullshit equipment, and that's how they get funded. They create bullshit scenarios just for a demand in technology or a new innovative equipment that they bring, whether it be materials, tools, a form of plastic needed for that technology. Dude, it gets fucked up like that. And that's what they feel they have to do out there when they lack proper direction. Listen, I know what I'm talking about, and I've never failed you with education in my research once. My teacher's getting sick, my classmates are getting sick, because there shouldn't be anybody in old homes this much. There shouldn't be anybody having trash around their surroundings. People shouldn't be feeling like they have to leave McDonald's, Whataburger, or any restaurant to go make desk money or be bought out, and have them think, oh, that job is worthless, when in reality, you're saving the world. Your job is very important, flipping burgers, waiting. And that's why those are our responsibilities with corrections. Police, military, border patrol with corrections. I just left the grocery store, right? And I saw military, police, border patrol with corrections, all following dress code in every single establishment, any business presented, following dress code. You don't have to always use uniform. That's how we make great friendships all around the world, through a job well done, great customer care, great customer service. And that's how you always catch the ones that are full of shit. And that's how everything is always seen. There's nowhere, everybody's got to eat. Everybody's got to drink water. We all bear the same fruits. Everybody has the same wants to a certain extent, right? They want to go out the door enjoying their life, right? So there's not going to be any excuse. Now nobody's going to get away with those false kidnappings. Nobody's going to get away with rape. Nobody's going to get away with some bullshit crime or stealing or anything. It'll reflect on the wages, with international healthcare law needing to be followed in every workplace, every pay period after tax withholdings and medical insurance withholdings, every pay period, every employee manager, $20 every pay period, and every 3 months we rise together. Because the reality of it is, people are always going to be successful, and they're going to find any way out to be successful. Doesn't matter what the circumstance they're in, they'll do anything. We've all seen that. We have all seen that before. They capitalize off insurance, they purposely crash into people, and we're over here hardworking, driving our days. We don't want to believe that because that's not in our fucking mind frame. We just think positive, right? But it's really happening. So that's why they need opportunity with corrections. There's nowhere else anybody can go. We're in retail with service members following dress code in every establishment. Customer care, waiting, serving, engineering, recycling metal, melting all old metal, for melting for brand new moldings for new vehicles. We don't want no clutter. Collecting harmful debris, and then illnesses become extremely airborne. The reason why we're seeing a lot of people get sick, and the doctor I was supposed to go to is not even present because that doctor is in the hospital with their loved ones, and that shouldn't be happening. And it's not surprising because I'm seeing a lot of trash in the public, and those are our duties with police, military, border patrol, with corrections, taking out the trash, picking up the trash, cutting the grass, building homes, education, schooling, teaching. Every workplace must be school themed, learning every language, reading and writing, cleaning our water supply. When we're all on the same page internationally, work doesn't feel like work. Now you get to enjoy each other, right? Because now you can have an extra spin on cleaning our water, right? Keep in mind, there's sediments, broken glass, unpredictable accidents in a household. We don't want people disposing of medication improperly. And then that's why we're always creating in demand within our healthy habits, right? Which is why THC and marijuana will be legalized, because it creates demand in labor work, taking the shitty value off the streets, making sure they're in safe places, in public areas. Everybody always knows everybody's whereabouts. And that's why all substances get disposed properly, because we don't want nothing seeping in our water supply, in our foods. Think about it. Because if you don't know your direction and your duties the right way, you take your blessings for granted, and then you're all just chilling, doing nothing wrong, enjoying your water, enjoying a meal, right? And then out of nowhere, you start coughing up blood, you start like getting all like dizzy, and you do not want to keep blessings from people. This foundation that all of our families created internationally is unbreakable, and it gives life with healthy habits and structure to not want to see anything else. So we always are great companions as an everyday employee, cooks, cleaning, equally employed. The uniform doesn't mean anything. Equally trained, equally knowledgeable. Now we come to the understanding like, hey, there's a lot of training that only has to stay as education. That doesn't give me a fucking good life. Great customer service does. Great thriving environment does. We see it in our ocean life. I don't ever want you to forget that. Shitty ass environments that our ocean and food harvests are in reflects their health and reflects our health. A lot of you are not seeing the repercussions of your stupidity and carelessness because of the majority of the world that doesn't want their surroundings looking like shit. And that's why you don't get severely sick and you get over it. because we don't let your stupidity happen. But you will get sick if you put yourself in a room with a sick person. You see it every day. You see it with your partners. They're sick, you already know you're going to get sick. Your children's get sick, you already know they're going to get sick. Stop playing with your health. You always need to stay in your proper, healthy habits at all times. And that's why I love the fact that when we noticed our investments with whether it be food stamps, governmental assistance, it could not be denied. It could not be denied because that is the moment when disease is invited. The reason why it is important for assistance in any circumstance to always be accepted right then and there. I don't care about the situation, credit, or anything. They must be accepted. Know your health. Because it creates demand and healthy habits, right? Or else there's going to be a lot of food going to waste. You cannot define the world in one state. One state does not define the world. One city does not define the world. One team, one person does not define the world. That's why you always have to remain in the foundation through what works. There's going to be a lot of people, we see it every time, brand new millionaire, we know nothing about brand new billionaire, trillionaires. Tell the trillionaires, I don't consider myself one, because we know how to get unlimited. Mr. Roman from the Bible. The reason why everybody in the world is living. 2016, with my professional colleagues, I predicted the pandemic when God told me directly. And it actually happened in 2020 with investigative proof. And even till this day, my research is very firmly correct and accurate. It's one thing just saying, oh, I'm this and that, when I don't even want the attention. It's wasting my fucking time. But somebody's obviously harassing the public. And that's why you have to let it be known with education. May I remind you why you're being stupid? And that's why you're seeing disease, because the carelessness. And new life produces extremely rapidly. And it's a bigger world. We don't know. We've seen people get jealous of successful people, but do you know, like, the work needing to put in to document each pallet of produce, each mathematical solution to distribute it properly to achieve those great results? Offer somebody that just puts their money in when it's no need, but they wanted to put their money in when, hey, we need everybody involved in the first place, right? And that's why we always include everybody in the world, no one excluded. Because they're making millions, billions off of just purchasing an item and upselling it. You need no brain cells for that, right? So understand how important it is to always bring constant understanding through media. Now you have media thriving more than ever before. Now people don't want to go out and do dumb shit. Keeping everybody used to each other through education, through work, is very important. It prevents disease. And I don't care if, I just want you to know, like, what business ownership looks like to those that been through it through experience, right? Because when you're an owner of a company, right, it occupies your time. You need your undivided attention, right, to distribute funds, payroll, to take accountability, the economy, and situations that you hear about the employees going to. And then out of nowhere, you want a life to live. Now you're thinking, hey, I want to free up my time. So now you need to hire somebody to take on your responsibilities, right? So you have to teach them every single thing that you know as a business owner, right? Now, whoever you hired to take on your responsibilities, they want to start to live a life for themselves too. Life happens, they get older. Now they have to hire somebody else. And then the list goes on. Now somebody 20, 10, 50 years later doesn't even know you exist. And you're the original, right? But the one handling payroll right now doesn't even know your name, doesn't know anything about you or how it came to be, right? And then you see how rumors start to fly, and then you get envious after they provoke and people get jealous. They just have too much time in their hands. That's why everybody must remain under healthy habits, and you have to bring understanding to everybody. So that's why when we always release the equity from the Bible, it's always including everybody in the world, where our kids and all of our families can thrive. No one's better than anybody. Kindness and caring to all. And we become friends through work, through education. And that's what brings understanding through privacy and your food to be cared for. It's a humongous world, dude. It is a humongous world. Whoever you are harassing the people in low radio frequencies, you need to stop. You need to stop. Because what is happening is, it's noticeable that you're running into denial. You're in denial at this point, and you don't want to see nothing else. And then when people are talking, the doctors and cops are talking, the troops and teachers, out of nowhere, their voice gets interrupted, and their tone of voice changes. It's obviously somebody that doesn't know how to make money, somebody that doesn't know good business, somebody trying to capitalize off of make-believe shit that they purposely do just to be that helping hand. There's no need for that, dude. There's no need for that. That's why you should follow mandatory healthcare guidelines internationally that all of our families have created over centuries and centuries. There's formulas in our harvest, in our food and medications and everything. There's formulas that got an infant to extremely old age, very successfully and healthy, and it cannot be forgotten. How many more people are just gonna brush it off, just talking about profit, when we're already provided unlimited, but not to this handful that only thinks about profit and then is out here just wanting to leave the work to somebody else. And then the ones that become very, very important is the ones on the ground all the time, through experience, through real situations that they go through. It's very, very important that you need to know the importance of every single individual. And you need to know God. You cannot define who made the first person or how the world even came to be. There's just so many, literally just so many speculations. And you guys are out here making up, gossiping, conflicting with each other. You're paying people off to be hateful on people that you don't even know. You just wanna, like, you're just literally like taking my money, and then you're like going to the labels and all of that saying, yeah, we're working with this person. And then all they had to do was just be spectating and just being around you, and not even you knew about it. And then they release funds from the label, give them in advance. Oh yeah, and then they just start fucking harassing and just like keep on being the surrounding, and then they slowly seep in. So to be honest, all of you guys are being funded with everybody's family's hard work and efforts. Where else are you going to get funded by? Nobody wants to see nobody rot on stage or like make some bullshit ass like content without knowing the value and why your job is even created in the first place. And that is the proof that differentiates the real original owner with everybody else. But I'm a very known partner, right? I didn't want to be known, but somebody's harassing people, and it's conflict of interest. So people form these fucking make-believe scenarios in their fucking head because they want to keep living a life that they've accumulated for themselves. So they get desperate, they get impulsive, they want everything fast. But when the reality is they're uneducated, and that's why you're going to get caught if you haven't already. You guys don't even know how a million or billion or trillion starts. Well, it starts with everyday people working every single day. And then everybody creates events for public funding for healthcare because everybody must remain under healthy living standards. You know how humongous the world is? That's not even half of it. There's strategies, right, that healthcare professionals have to approach certain situations, because then they already try to like confuse and control cops and make scenarios very believable to where now you need to bring understanding to the masses to always achieve great results. Do you see how when I'm speaking, my vocabulary is getting interrupted? And I was never in my whole life known for that. Never. There's nothing wrong with my intelligence, my health. I'm raising up the bottled water. That's for certain. Now I'm not. Right? Obviously, right? So when I'm noticing people messing with the community and low radio frequencies, and now some idiots are trying to like blend in, trying to get away with trying to control everybody. And then we're seeing dogs in the neighborhood like cry for no reason. Like, do they put it in the food, or do they put it in like an injection in the water? Is it electrolytes complementing natural nutrients that our body already has? Electromagnetic? What is it? What is it? Because you're obviously wasting your fucking time, whoever you are. because you need to be building. You're not going to misdirect good people and all of these families when everybody individually has a family and loved ones that they care for. Nobody should be going to war conflicting. That shit is over with. There wouldn't be no military or federal government without the Romans from the Bible. Or what else are you going to base it off of? And I'm letting you know, we build, care for our harvest with everything healthy. You see how they gossip and all they have to do is lie? Just to create false opportunity for themselves if they're not given opportunity, just so they could eat? They start lying and then pretend to be Border Patrol and government officials and military and police, and we're over here providing opportunities, having great friendships all over the world. We're putting in the effort, learning every single language other than English. So when you come and we want, to work always smoothly, we need everybody putting in the same amount of effort. We know Spanish, we know English, we know Chinese, we know Korean, we know Japanese, we know all of the languages. For healthcare, having everybody used to each other is disease prevention. We need everybody building, we need everybody harvesting always, and there's going to be food that goes to waste, medicine that goes expired. Well, there's always going to be a demand. New life keeps producing extremely rapidly. So we dispose of it properly, because people don't know how to dispose of waste properly and trash and plastics, but there's people that do, and they know that they have to also educate the masses on how to do it properly. You need to be employing every single person that presents themselves. In retail, you don't, okay, so that's good. Now you use for education, use to teach languages, use everything school themed on all workplaces. Now recycling, make videos every single day on educating, right? You always have to put that great value into every single individual. Remodeling buildings, learning construction, even if your workplace is retail or produce, cutting the grass, landscaping, painting. You need to know. Get all that shit out of your fucking head, man. Those days are fucking over. Now you're really going to see who's full of shit. Everyone building, harvesting, retail, cooking, serving, cleaning our water, recycling, the wires, the rubber. They know how to know how to make that too. Everything always in healthy habits. We want all that shitty value off the streets and in public places, professionally, being professionally disposed of so it doesn't seep in our water. We don't need any more disease. You could bring understanding constantly through motion picture and news and story. We have the media thriving more than ever before, all right? It's very important that you know your healthy habits. We don't want no fucking newbies being put in position, because we make everybody leaders, and then the ones that made it very convenient for us to be successful, they're getting old, they're getting unable, they're occupying their times with living now, and then the ones put in position, they just don't understand the full concept of why they're even getting paid or their job description. With healthcare, it's great relations. It's with corrections and opportunity through work. And nobody, I don't care who's trying to provoke or fake anybody out, whoever's in your headspace or whatever, we won't be phased anywhere ever again in the world. Now it'll all be for spreading the good word and bringing understanding. You know, weapons get old. Knowing that it's fucking junk. We know that, right? We all know that. It's junk. It does nothing for us. But somebody else has it. So now everybody has to have it and educate ourselves properly. And it needs to be melted. We make a brand new, like the tanks, we make brand new. Only to bring understanding to the masses. Hey, this is shit. You want to act like shit? You get shitty results. You get shitty environment. You get shitty health. And even if it's not happening back home is still being poisoned by the toxic air that you're doing that shit for. It's all to bring understanding, and it stays in education. And that is it. It just stays in education. Don't be coming out the door with egos, idea, and aesthetic. That's great to feel confident in yourself. Great. Some people don't know how to handle like what they're feeling. They don't understand what they're feeling. It's that excitement. It's uncertainty. Well, educate yourself properly. Because that doesn't give you a great life. The whole foundation was for people who care about their surroundings, who care and show compassion for others. Selflessness. Living with purpose. And that's how you get beautiful women and very handsome men. Very beautiful women. It's through the motion. It's through teaching, through every bit of motion that your body speaks to itself. That enhances your overall superior health and beauty. You notice it when you work out. You start seeing beautiful women, handsome men, right? You notice when you're working out with steel, right? And then you grow calluses right here. Well, that's your body telling itself, hey, I care for myself. So your body's protecting itself. Same thing when washing your dishes. That amplifies your beauty because you're telling your body, hey, I care for my surroundings. Cutting the grass, same thing. Building, caring for others is the same thing. That's how you suppress disease and eliminate disease. I want to say thank you to everybody around the world that are not faked out, that stay within their healthy habits at all times. And never be phased, because we really went through it. And I went through it, and I barely entered adulthood, dude. And I've been through a lot of situations as Mr. Roman from the Bible. All I ever know, and all of my investments everywhere around the world, with everybody around the world. We just know good business, great business, and it's through the foundation and teamwork and understanding. Now we're all in understanding on how to always be funded, right? There's just certain things that people come across that you need to know how to never be faked out, and you always have a great life because God is for life. You'll always live with God. They tried like shocking me in my heart, shocking me in my head, making me dizzy after like tapping your like blood flow, whatever they're doing to dogs, what they're doing out there to people. I don't know what the fuck is going on because we're not focused on that. We're focused on with corrections. Probably somebody that just capitalizing off our great equity. You see how important it is to keep on educating the new life? Because you're always going to have a new up-and-comer that needs to know the importance on why everybody's getting blessed and how everybody has a great life, like a real badass life when you travel and when you go out to everybody. Like, it's enjoyable, right? Because they're also blessed and they also have their privacy and they're set up for success equally like you are. That is why you come outside and you enjoy your outside. A lot of you, like, come outside, it's not even a handful that we see, and you come outside and what are you gonna, like, who are you going to show off to, man? Like, who are you going to show off to? When we all can get it. We all could have done what you did. All right? We all could have, like, third-party sell. We all could have upselled. We all could have, like, done that. But then we're going to see our restaurants and fields empty. Understand, it's an equal opportunity partnership. Usually when I have, like, a blueprint of great business, this is what meetings happen. This is what meetings discuss. The best interest to further the company. Stability, unbreakable foundation, right? This is what you need to discuss when you come across stability and healthcare. Because a lot of times what's happening, and I know what I'm working with when you come across obstacles, is people, they gain the value from their surroundings, right? And then they start saying, oh, it's because of us. It's because of me. You see, I know good business. I know, great, we get it. But you wouldn't have accumulated that knowledge without giving what's presented in front of you through people that went through their experiences too, that bring your value. That's why everybody must be always equally educated. Because that's a very toxic mindset to have. Oh, it's because of me, or it's because of us. No, dude, you're wrong. All of our families everywhere around the world put in equal amount of efforts. We had to be very, very selfless, and we had to literally go through it to see our investments work. A whole stadium does not define the world. A lot of you are getting very faked out and impressed by one stadium filled. Imagine the world. And then you're over here thinking you're this and that over, like, just self. Off a million or trillion when there's people to care for. Being put in position comes with responsibilities to put on payroll, and that's the responsibilities of everybody else. Now, how is your investments? Now, what are you going to have your money work for? Right? Now you need the people, right? You're always going to need the people. So there shouldn't be nobody homeless. There shouldn't be nobody in old homes. And I approach you with education. And you're over here wasting my time. Some of you glorify fucking attention. You're wasting my fucking time, dude. They're just somebody obviously provoking the fucking people. Then they become your employees, then they target the employees, and then they pay off your employees to reject customers when they shouldn't even be rejected, dude. What about our fucking engineers making the vehicles, dude? Everything gets paid. Everything gets paid. If something happens out in their personal life, then you tow it, you still make more money than the initial purchase. You saw your investors go through that. So you won't see any risk. If something happens, you see debt collectors collect taxpayer money given healthy. So they won't be investing in fucking shitty equipment that just kills them and all of us. It's all good equity and opportunity to thrive and to use your efforts to always stay within healthy habits. Following international healthcare law governs you even after we have our partners within commission, government, after tax withholdings, healthcare insurance, every employee with the manager, $20 every pay period. Pick your margins. A lot of people, I'm just basing it off of the majority of what I'm seeing around me, right? Which works very, very well and is very effective globally. And that's why a lot of you are not getting as sick and still seeing today, because we go through things that we're not in control of. So we got to make sure, hey, we got to feed our families, we got to feed ourselves, we got to keep healthy, right? And there's other people that create these jobs for themselves that they need to be healthy too. Now it's all making sense, right? Well, you got to understand that. So now we don't have people within our agencies that root for the same team, but they have toxic narratives and they ended up being crime junkies. And they end up like forming partnerships or relationships just off of like a crime and like obsessiveness over like a group, place, or thing. And then they're over here just sitting on their ass with some fucking equipment, just harassing the people, invading their fucking private life. So you need to know how to get publicly funded the right way, man. Something that keeps coming and something that is going to bless you in abundance without taking human interaction. You are not nobody in the world. And I'm speaking to everybody because nobody in the world would have been alive today if it wasn't for the equal efforts in everybody's family. Stop singling yourself out over idea and aesthetic. Nobody would have been breathing. Look at how you're blinding yourself. All prideful. And then you entertain these ideas and like situations, and there's a good person in everybody. You are not going to be misguiding the masses ever again. There's no reason why anybody should be in war, conflict, or dying. Never. There's clothes to always make. There's cars to always make brand new. Equipment and education to teach the masses. You're going to have a lifetime full of responsibilities and work to always remain in. And then we saw toxicity in our doctors too, and then they were dishing out fake information. Dude, we saw all of that together. It's very, very childish. It's all going to be education, situational awareness, demanding healthy habits in labor, taking value off the streets, and making sure we have everything healthy. Because even if you don't do that medicine or whatever the case may be, if you don't do that, that is still your fucking health. And you're seeing it in real time when you get in a room with a sick person. So there's no lies being said. Even if you don't do it, it's still like you're doing it. And there's a lot of things one team, state, country cannot have control over because it is a humongous world. Keep it healthcare, know your health, and know how to better approach the situation so everybody won't be faked out. You always stay within your healthy habits. Now there's more of a life to live. Now that you know the actual foundation, now you're over here saying like, damn, my life is going to be badass now. You know, we lost labor workers because they just wanted to be around some ass. We lost labor workers because they were just always working, good workers, but they wanted to be around each other. They wanted to be around civilization. You see how the foundation that all of our families around the world in healthcare, you see how we built the foundation of perfect solving every problem? They won't even think twice about never doing shit again. We're all present. Every time you come out the door, don't be foolish. Enjoy your friendships through a job well done. Scuba dive, clean the environment. People gotta fish every day, they gotta eat. So do our animals. Our land animals must be showered daily like humans. Our landscaping at all times. Roads must be made brand new. Metal waste must be recycled very properly. I'm just ignoring what the fuck they're doing to people out there. Alright, that's really fucked up. It's somebody obviously that just had shit in their fucking head. It's a lesson for all because they try to fix your thoughts and making you believe this person, that person. So you just have to make it a lesson for all so you won't be faked out. And that's how you see the obvious issue every time. You just give it to God and you just keep putting that work in. Cutting the grass, building homes, making sure, hey, you're going to be okay, all right? Because if you're sick, I'm sick. If you're fucked, I'm fucked. All right? That's fucking true. That's the reality of life. If you become careless, there's going to be more people becoming careless, and then you're already blinding yourself through favoriting this and that, or favoriting just uniforms, and like now it becomes an isolation thing. Now you don't want to see anything good about the community, only that you stand for what's right, or what. That's all you're fucking telling yourself, and then you make yourself believe this and that. Well, give all of that to God. And you stay within your healthy habits with corrections, and you see a good person in everyone. They have no time to be doing their dumb shit, or won't give them no time to be going back to whatever the fuck they're doing with radioactivity or lighting projection, electromagnetic. I don't know. And they could literally target somebody very, like represented, like they could like throw in fake news. So just see a good person in everyone, all right? And everybody stay within your healthy habits. You know, I'll tell you the importance of this. You think, right? The uneducated think, oh, it's fucking pointless. It's pointless making this. What does it do for us? It creates demand and healthy work. So they won't be out there jealous for no reason. They have too much time in their hands. No need. It brings demand in healthy work. Demand in knowledge to now embark in clothing, spreading the good word, bringing unity, kind gestures, stimulating the community together with a positive outlook. And that's why there's a great demand in this. But somebody that didn't know their healthy habits and the foundation would have said, oh, this is junk, it's not in demand, it's not popular, it's not trending. You would have probably made not even a fraction of percentage. You wouldn't have made a fraction of percentage. They're doing that on purpose. They're trying to get in the way of my vocabulary on purpose. And don't make it more than what it is. It's shit. They could fucking leave because God promises stand very still. You saw the news reports in like troops like that passed away, police. Well, it's those fucking head people. I don't know who the fuck does that. The people don't know how to do it. Now everybody must be informed. So now everybody knows if that fucking happens, we know exactly how to catch them. That's why I'm letting everybody know what they're trying to do to me. And they're trying to capitalize and make it like trying to get away with whatever they're fucking doing and trying to hide behind like representatives that are good people, dude. We have good partners, dude. We have good partners. And they're over here like making everybody like look very guilty and they're innocent. So that's why everybody around the world needs to know why your job description is even alive in the first place. And why the borders were made. It brings tons of great understanding so people won't get out of line, with tons of educational situational awareness and demand and labor work for construction, for surveying land. There's journeys and paths that you grasp that value in partnerships, right? It's all healthcare. We want to take care of the unseen too. Because they know that a team, a country, a state, a city, they can only do so much. And then there's people that already notice that, know exactly where you're going to be. And they know exactly where you're going to like say or go to. So they know how to better adapt. And they know how to get away with their shit. Now, how do you never see that shit again? Through your healthy habits, through the foundation, cutting grass, providing opportunity, planting, caring for the wildlife, sea life, building, education, learning every language, keeps everybody used to each other. Put your efforts into great use, walk with purpose. And now your lives are very unlimited. And why do you say, why is Mr. Roman out here going through it with everybody else? When Mr. Roman can easily grasp the equity of the Bible and go live a lavish life, have one of the biggest yachts, one of the biggest homes, one of whoever you think is the richest person in the world, I mean, they'd get very embarrassed, right? And I can say that with confidence. And the reason why I say that with confidence in knowing y'all motherfuckers that are tranza and like go to people and say, oh, how do you do it, dude? That's why I'm letting you know. There's no need to even talk to me. There's no need to be out there stealing from people, because we saw with the world how creative you guys get. And now they try to like enter your bloodstream and then like know your schedule in daily life, and they try to read your minds out there. And then they try to like know your passwords and all of that, and then you're not the problem. That's really messed up, dude. That is really fucked up. And while we're talking, they interrupt our original conversation. You see those threats? It's because they're afraid. Because God already knows who they are, and they're fucked. If they tell you, whoever's up to that, whoever's up to that shit, whatever they're doing, whoever's doing that, if they send you out to do dumb shit, that means they think you're pointless and worthless. What you gotta do and say, saying, dude, you do it your fucking self. and you stay within your healthy habits and you care for your family. Because everybody around the world wouldn't be blessed or given opportunity without God and all of our families with equal efforts with the equity of the Bible. And that's why we put all of our efforts and equity within the foundation, unbreakable, with all officials, everybody, no one excluded, everybody in the world's family. So you understand the importance of healthcare, of caring for what's in front of you in order to even be healthy and alive in the first place. So not even I'm going to be having access, because I made that very, very firm with all of our families everywhere around the world. We made that very, very firm. So nobody can take anything from anybody. Because if you're sick and you're unable, then everybody gets sick and unable. There shouldn't be anybody in old homes. Everybody build, cook, clean, harvest. The equipment, weapons, and demand, those are always going to be made brand new, just only to implement understanding, to bring others, to keep work going smoothly. You do not want to be stupid, because there's been so many people tough, confident, thinking they got it, thinking they're going to get away with everything, and they just die. They just die, dude. Real confident motherfuckers, dog. Real confident. Like if they're the most elite in the whole world, and they're just dead because they forgot how to live. They blinded themselves because they're toxifying their heads with shit. We see officials have their whole life exactly like the examples that they see in the movie. They're getting very, very predictable, and even that could be a diversion and another distraction. Maybe you got away with it back then, right? You thought you guys were tough, trying to fear girls, right? You thought you were tough, trying to fear men when everybody's out there working, capitalizing on all of our money, right? Who else are you going to show off to? Huh? Who else are you going to come out to have a great life? I see weakness. I see your weakness just straight up being presented. So now you're weak and you're blinded. The fuck were you expecting going against God and everybody's family around the world? We're not going to let not one person, one state, one country, one city, nobody's going to be misguiding each other, because chances are they're temporarily stroking your ego, giving you everything, making you feel very confident about each other and your surroundings. Temporarily, they're doing that to get away with their shit. They can forge your signature on your locations. See how toxic it gets? And then they're just relaxing, just chilling. And then out of nowhere, for no reason, and you weren't even the problem. So I don't know how long that shit has been going on. I don't know who's involved, but just know, now we know how to never see shit, and we're not going to give them the time of day to get on whatever equipment they're using to do that shit. You stay within your healthy habits at all times. So they were throwing fake news just to intimidate their targeted area or community. And then they started doing this like dumb shit, like shocking parts of your body, and like with electricity, it makes you very, very convinced that you're sick. I want, if you're going through the same thing I went through and everybody else is going through for no reason in secret, and some of them don't even want to speak about it because they're over here lying, pretending to be their surroundings. They're like acting to the extreme depths. They'll entertain any of your paranoia or any thought you want to go about the situation, and they'll literally like just act the part in depth to any way you think and want to structure the situation. That's what they're trying to do to me, to everybody. So just give it to God and you stay within your healthy habits. They're trying to purposely blind people too. We heard that. They'll just put lighting and then they'll like hide behind public safety DPS and they'll say, oh, and they just blocked your vision with light. And then they say, oh, you're gonna need glasses. And then they wrongfully like alter your vision while you're going to take the glasses, and they'll wrongfully prescribe you glasses. So then over time, you become really blind when in reality, you were never blind. You were never blind in the first place. So when they approach you, you can't even see a distance. Now, you're over here blinded, and if you blame this person or that person that is really guilty, then when witnesses come, they say, oh, he can't even see, you see? It's not even me. It's just somebody that looks like me. It's not even me. It's because they went through things doing their dumb shit. And then when somebody breathes in your surroundings and then it sounds like a whistling sound, that means you're fucking being bugged with electricity, lighting. And then it kind of blends in with like normal things that happen. I want you to know I'm not afraid to die. I'm not gonna die. I'm with God. And I'm the reason why everybody in the world is breathing. I don't care if they have fucking clones. I don't care if they have lookalikes. I'm good. That's why they try to do that too. So they can take out somebody that puts them on blast, and then they can like put another lookalike and then make it look like nothing's ever happened. That person didn't die. That's what they're doing too. So now you know the shit that they're up to. And it all comes because somebody doesn't want to provide opportunity and lacks the proper direction of how to never see shit. Those days are going to be all over. Everyone around the world is going to know their proper foundation. Somewhere where our kids and families can thrive, man. You know? It's all education. Then how many more people are going to become careless? How many more of our wives and kids are going to be bullied in secret? And then the ones that are guilty come straight into like the helping hand. And then they become their surroundings, and then they say everything good and slick so they can get away with their shit because they have this defaulted plan that they do when they want to like suppress people's blessings just to offer a hand to do business with them. They're getting very stupid and they blind themselves. You guys are gonna rot in fucking hell more than a lifetime. Whoever is guilty of that. And we just literally build and do all the healthy habits. They're out here literally in radio frequency just lying. They could just literally make somebody believe anything. They just lie. And what happens to us, service members with corrections, when we're doing everything right? We're doing everything right. And then out of nowhere, people get hit. It's because of the lack of bringing constant understanding through education. You want to make sure they're not anywhere else in the unseen. They don't have too much time in their hands. They all gotta eat. They all gotta eat. Always stay within your healthy habits. They try to make very professionals that really know, very intelligent people, they try to make them look like fools just to get away with the real stupidity that they're doing because they're stupid. Know your health. Some people already have like a short attention span. So they don't want to learn. They get too comfortable in being sheltered, away from harm's way. So when somebody that knows what they're talking about, that puts you on payroll, I know exactly how to approach every situation too. Just to see exactly who you are. Because you're really messing with one of the professionals. A very loyal partner from the Bible with all of our families. And that's why we're nice to everybody and we don't favorite. And we do not discuss our partnerships. We just approach with action and great results in understanding healthcare, education, equal opportunity with corrections. Because what happened to some people is they discussed their partnerships and they started harassing our partners and colleagues, and then just to give themselves an opportunity and say, oh, you see, you don't need them, you need us. And they provoked your blessings just to stop provoking and say, oh, it's because of us, we're the blessing. You see how tricky they get? You see what happens when the people are not given opportunity, when they lack understanding? You see how even the kids can be restricted from the shit that happens, so they have to see how horrific situations get when people become careless of one another? There's no other way that they're going to know and understand why they shouldn't do shit, and they're better off getting unlimited through the foundation in every business with corrections. You're gonna be great, man. Get out of that mindset. You don't need that shit out there. You can get you a big house, clean grass. You're gonna meet your wife, your husband. You're gonna meet them through work. You can be painting, building, caring for land, surveying land. It's all healthcare. It is all healthcare. That is why we built the Border Patrol, military, police with corrections. It's all healthcare, education, bringing constant understanding so everybody can understand, hey, that's why you leave each other alone, because you're going to want a great life, so do they. It's a blessing that all satellites come up in space and everybody has free phones. Well, I gave some free phones away for the masses, right? With all of the partners everywhere around the world, right? Because it is very important for everybody to stay used to each other for disease prevention, right? It keeps them understanding, hey, It gets them to know life and how to be successful and how to not be, and that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to do shit, right? And then people are getting bought out, and then our employees are not following the rules, and then distractions happen, and then you have your time wasted. Because in the reality of things, you as a company should always look in the best interest of keeping your health for your company and business at all times. Always have clean surroundings, great customer care, great appearance. Everybody must afford a healthy living. Every employee, after tax withholdings, after medical insurance withholdings, every employee. The banks love it. The banks love it, and they're never going to see a bad day ever, right? And so do every business around the world. Every employee, $20. And every 3 months we rise, and those wage increases are never going to stop rising, right? It doesn't take away the healthy habits. And I don't want you to lean on your own understanding, because there's always going to be a solution, okay? But right now, people are ditching restaurants, harvest fields. They're just ditching for some deal money, desk money. I don't know, right? But they don't see the importance of flipping burgers or waiting and serving, and that's very fun. That job is super cool. School theme, learning every language, reading and writing, intervals around the world, traveling, partnerships. Like, make your jobs happy and fun. You know, you want to have everybody wanting to be there. Man, dude, we've heard some of you guys in franchises get bought out by just new up-and-comers that just have supposedly better business. They just leached onto the equity of everybody else. You see how toxic it gets and pointless it gets? When in reality, everybody around the world will be great and excellent and very educated. Everybody must be equally educated. You better know the truth, or else we'll have some up-and-comer, doctor just wanting to disrupt medicine, thinking, oh, it's a sick world, it's a cruel world, and we are the solution. Dude, you see how convincing that shit sounds? And some people bought into that shit. Given the current circumstance, it was a solution, but I know that it was being provoked for a fucking demand in medicine or whatever the new thing that they're going to be sponsoring or coming to be. Like, it's all because they know the foundation, as I know and everybody else knows. That's why everybody always has to know the importance, right? Medicines get expired. They have to be disposed of, right, properly, so it won't seep into our water or harvest, so it can be made brand new. With that, the majority of the importance is the education and understanding and knowing different substances and the strengths and weaknesses and the anatomy and the reactions of what happens when this person consumes this portion of this specific protein or this specific substance when diagnosed with this symptoms of expression. So now just give that a God. Don't confuse yourself. It all remains an education, and hazardous of experiences to better prepare new life. Now you could use your services to get paid, dude, way more than $100 or $50 on a new patient visit out of pocket. Now you have like nice healthy interactions. You have aerobics, you have a gym class at the gym. Now you can have breathing exercises, building your lung capacity. Right? Or singing. They're doing that on purpose. They're trying to switch my tone of voice on purpose. I just want you to know that I have a soft voice, not staticky and shit like you're hearing now. And it's happening to a lot. It's happening to a lot of people out there, and they just brush it off because they either don't believe in themselves, they don't want anything happening to their family off of lies. So so now you know the shit that they're doing, right? Now you know the shit that they're doing, right? Now you know how to never see any of that shit. And you just focus on your healthy duties. They're trying to make me look like a fool. What can I do about it? I don't know how to do that shit. It's fucked up, right? It's fucked up what they do to successful people that don't do anybody wrong. It's the suffering of repercussions of what's out there and what's in the unseen. They're not given an opportunity because somebody has their own fucked up value and just wants to self-glorify, and they're latching on to everybody's great equity and they lack the fundamentals, right? They want to be the boss and they want to be like, they're just off idea, dog. They're just off idea, aesthetic. They all wear the suit and shit, you know? And dude, it's easy to even like do that. Just think about profit. Oh shit. Less responsibilities, right? And you yourself as an individual, you know how life rots with even like 1,000, a couple hundred. How many more times are you gonna go to fast food restaurants and splurge? I know damn well you spend more than 20 bucks on fast food when you get paid, or you buy pizza, you go to, you know, a nice burger joint, you know. I deserve it, you know, it's payday. That's what you guys say, you know. And I mean, if you want to choose unlimited and have your wages increase, well, I know I'm not gonna hesitate. Hey, all right, you got it. Here's 20, here's 40. Some people have more of a higher wages, so you pick your margins. Here's 50, here's 100, here's 1,000. And every 3 months, 500, 500, 500, that's on top of your original pay. All right? So now nobody needs to be faked out. All right? Everybody in the workplaces are already following this healthy pattern, or else you'll get fucking faked out by fucking God knows where. You're gonna get faked out by somebody from the outside. It's messed up. It's messed up. So now we know nobody will ever see shit again. We see all this shit. We hear all this shit everywhere around the world. How do we never see it? There's work to be done with corrections, education, opportunity to provide. With us always being present, everything's seen. Know your health. People aspirate. When we talk, we aspirate. People grow accustomed and build immunity in different environments. This one's living in an old home. This one lacks nothing. They both present themselves very healthy. But this one living in an old home got sick because of their environment, but they grew immunity. This person didn't get sick, always sheltered, lacked nothing. But they present themselves to you just like a crowd in an event center, a stadium. They're all looking healthy. We love to get right down to the bottom of the issue, so we make sure we never see the issue ever again. And that's why artists that got careless, that didn't follow public funding rules, anybody put in position didn't follow public funding in healthcare, international healthcare law, they got very severely sick. Some died. They got caught with AIDS. They got caught with disease. They got caught with tons of airborne illnesses. And now you know. I'm breaking it down for you so you never forget. God's research will always stand forever. God's research will never go against life. But it's always firm education, so you know there's no reason to be sitting on your ass, toxifying each other, playing a gossip game, make-believe scenarios, and you know nothing about the individuals. Are you seeing that in front of you? I know a lot of times you're not seeing anything that you're hearing in front of you, but you're just fixed on the idea of somebody that just wanted to create funding for themselves or dish out their medicine or equipment, and that's all you're fucking entertaining in your head. And now they have this going on, whatever they're trying to use people with phones and shit. The world has heard cases happen where deputies get faked out and they're innocent. They were just on patrol doing a perfect job in bringing understanding. They thought they had a heart attack or a stroke. They were just controlling them, dude, with electricity. I'm seeing like women, like stars, you know, supposedly they're stars. You can call anybody a star. Anyways, they're talking and then they're fucking like, their jaw is like, you know, like when they start, like they're talking and then their jaw is like fucking like, and they weren't even like that at first. That means they're using everybody like a fucking telephone. And that means that's what explains you embodying somebody else. And then they blend in with movies. They blend in just to like create fear for a demand in, and all they have to say is public safety. Dude, nobody's gonna be fooled ever again, dude. That's why they keep shit from the owners and they do all this dumb shit and then they keep all that dumb shit away from the owners, dude. When I first got attacked from that shit, I let it be known because it's fucking shit and garbage. They're all fucking rotten, man. Don't listen to that shit. You are going to rot. If you have anything to do with that, you're going to rot. Your kids, your families are going to rot with you. It's very selfish. You should not do that. Dude, life is good, dude. Some of you guys would, like, all jealous over, like, appearance. Well, dude, that means you shouldn't be that fucking close to that person. That's what gives you privacy and that person privacy. But you don't understand that discomfort and weird feeling that you have. You need to understand what you're feeling. It's very important for our great relations and service members worldwide, internationally, to know what you feel, and it's very, very healthy. When you come across life, that's what gives you life and privacy, because you're going to want, a partner just like you. And dude, like nobody wants their fucking space invaded, dog. Right? We have great businesses and good labor work, harvesting. I don't want to meet nobody. I don't favor nobody. I'm the reason why everybody's alive right now with very investigative proof and real great resumes and very action every single day till this day to prove it with our government officials, with corrections, always seeing great results in everybody that you guys wrongfully judged and wanted to see something shitty in them. They're very great people when they're given responsibilities and put in corrections. They need to build, you need to bring understandings. That's exactly what we did to you. A lot of people that are in the service members, they were fucking reckless. They were fuck ups. They didn't have their shit together. They wanted a quick come up and they joined the service members, right? To get fucking corrected, right? We could have been denying you. We could have denied you, but we didn't. Because we see a great person in everyone and we know exactly the great value and position to put you in so you could be successful. Get all that shit out of your head. And that's what some fucking people within our agencies that are blending in with us need to know. Because they're getting paid, they start working with the labels, then they start growing this fucking obsession with females and they go into the porn industry and then they start like fearing them, like making a sex thing. Like, dude, nobody's fucking fooled. God is better. They're trying to fix people's relations off of favoritism. The fuck out of people's lives, man. You're rotten. Fucking rotten piece of shit. And that's said from God. God in everybody's life, everywhere around the world. Because God is better. Extreme experiences that'll take us to the whole fucking past Mars. You're not prospering, dog. Whoever you are, you're not gonna prosper. You're going against life. You're going against God in great results. Just to dish off a shitty hand and say you're the boss, you're nothing without the people. Everyone matters. It's a fucking privilege and blessing to know God in a very deep level and to know God very personally in all of God's languages and colors. There's beautiful women and men that others were jealous of. So then they create this racial idea and have them act so shitty. Oh, but that's what they're telling you when they're in front of you, right? And then you're the ones that believed them and now you're looking shitty and your insides are rotting and it doesn't matter how beautiful or handsome you look. And then this person that created that scenario, right, for whatever selfish demand that they were trying to offer, they know the importance. They gotta be right and act appropriate with everybody. You see how they do to jealous, beautiful people? To successful people? They start getting in your fucking headspace. They start gossiping and creating more distractions after provoking your employees or your surroundings over time. Those days are over. You guys are gone and rotten. A lot of you that are trying to find out the cause of the issue, that are innocent and you're the surroundings, God bless you all. But that shit is gone, dude. Forever and ever, God's promise. We're not going to half-ass it here on Earth before we enter Mars. So I want you to know, keep building, stay within your healthy habits, enjoy each other, have fun environments, keeping on thriving. Dude, it's super worth it. God is super cool. And dude, everywhere around the world, they'll have your back. everywhere around the world. Stop leaning on your own understanding, man. You guys are getting impulsive. That means you need to get out of position. Let the professionals and the one that put you on payroll, that know your health, that's keeping you breathing, you need to let everybody else in the world do a good job. It's simple. Everybody needs water, shelter, food. They want to have partners. Now they want to have kids. Now they want their privacy intact. It's very simple. We all bear the same fruits. Stop bullshitting each other out there. We build, harvest. The equipment, weapons made brand new, situational demonstration, only importance with education to always bring understanding to the masses on why you should always remain within your duties and work, labor work, healthy habits. That's the only importance of weapons and nuclear weapons. That is all the importance is. It's useless. It's fucking shit. It creates demand in labor work. To bring understanding to the masses so they won't cross each other's boundaries the wrong way. So they know, hey, I want you to keep on, being great. And I know, in order for me to be great, you have to be great. In order for me to be left alone, you have to be left alone. You have to bring understanding to everybody, because then they don't know how to act. They start getting all paranoid. It's a humongous world. And that's what happens when you go against God and you lack proper direction. And I stand firm because I'm one of the loyalist partners that everybody has ever witnessed with everybody's families together around the world. Yes, your kids are involved in spreading the good word, acts of kindness. You'll learn a lot from your kids and your family members. Oh, but you wanted to think you were all this and that. Putting on the uniform, thinking you're better, right? I bet they let you believe, oh, yes, you're the man of the house, whatever. But we were all equally educated. And we're all in great relations. So stop being faked out if somebody's jealous of you. Because there's a good person in everyone. Now everybody knows how to never see it. Follow dress code in every establishment.